Hey CD11, welcome to your weekly update from City Hall. Copper wire theft affects every corner of our city, with untold damage to our infrastructure and public safety, costing taxpayers millions in repairs and putting people's lives at risk. But on Friday, Council approved a motion I introduced with Councilmember De Leon to create a reward program to apprehend criminals involved in these thefts. Already, the copper wire theft task force we created a few months back has resulted in 29 arrests, most of which were felonies. Many of you are familiar with the history of Barrington Plaza and the fires that occurred there in 2013 and 2020, one of which was fatal. Last year, Barrington Plaza's owners filed Ellis Act evictions to vacate the building to install fire sprinklers. A lawsuit filed by the tenants was heard earlier this month by Superior Court Judge Jay Ford, who found that Barrington Plaza did not intend to permanently remove the units from the rental market. Although the ruling is still not final, it raises many questions for the current tenants and those who already vacated the building. So on Friday, I introduced a motion asking the city attorney and housing department to provide an analysis of the ruling and guidance on any further intervention by the city. I'll look forward to providing a future update when the case is resolved and the city has a chance to respond to my motion. Gun violence is a nationwide scourge, ripping communities apart and taking far too many lives. In 2022 alone, more than 48,000 Americans died from gun injuries, and we've seen the tragic effects of gun violence throughout the city of Los Angeles, and even recently, right in Westchester Park. It brings me hope to see our U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, declare gun violence a public health crisis. Last October, I was proud to work with our city's Public Health Commission to convene a panel of experts to discuss the important interventions needed to prevent gun violence. And this year, I've worked closely with law enforcement and the California court system to ensure that guns are quickly removed from domestic abusers. This panel included representatives from LAPD, our city attorney's office, Women Against Gun Violence, the Gifford Center for Violence Intervention, UCLA, Urban Peace Institute, and Healing Urban Barrios. I'll continue to engage in this work to address gun violence and ensure our communities are safe for everyone. Also this week, the council unanimously approved a handful of Olympics-related motions that I introduced alongside my council colleagues. These motions resulted from my trip to Paris back in March in advance of the 2024 Olympic Games there. The preparation work I observed in Paris informed these motions, which touch on a range of issues, from sidewalk improvements, transportation systems, volunteer programs, and reimbursements from LA28 for essential services during the Games. We are only 48 months away from the 2028 Games right here in LA, a moment when Los Angeles will host the entire world. We want to show the very best our city has to offer, and that begins with preparation. So stay tuned for more to come. On Tuesday, we did something that should have been done 60 years ago, designating Marilyn Monroe's home in Brentwood as a historic cultural monument. This wasn't an action that I took lightly, and I sought to balance neighborhood concerns as the designation moved unanimously through the Cultural Heritage Commission and our own Plum Committee. It's also why I introduced a motion to evaluate tour bus restrictions on Fifth Helena Drive and surrounding streets. My team and I will continue to work closely with the community to address any other concerns that may arise. But this was a huge win for the history and culture of Los Angeles. I hope you have a great weekend, CD11, and I'll be back next week with more updates.